This is the Phantom of the Vegan Flatland here. I'm here to talk about my favorite Highway to Heaven episodes. A Highway to Heaven was made in the early 80s and ended in the early 90s. 5 seasons, 5 of the best episodes you will ever see in your life. Number one, nothing comes close. Nothing. This show was the best. It had everything: comedy, laughter, crying, drama, suspense, thriller, scary stuff, truther stuff. And this series killed Michael Landon, Victor French, and James Troche. That I do know. I might get into that a little bit in this video, but I've talked about it in my past videos. People aren't just adding it up, and they've moved on. And that's fine. They've moved on from it, and most people don't even know who the hell Michael Landon is, or Victor French is, or James Troche is, which is a shame, because they were truthers before the truther movement even could even be dreamed of. I'll get into that with one of my episodes. Top five. Well, number 5 is season 1, disc 1, a episode called "To Touch the Moon." So, "To Touch the Moon," if you want to cry your ass off, in these episodes, there are so many times where Michael Landon is discussing cancer and what are the odds he gets cancer, and so is Victor French. There are so many episodes talking about cancer. Here's one of them. Little boy gets cancer. Little boy dies. The mother of the little boy adopts one of his friends who doesn't have a family and takes him in as one of her own. The young boy approves of it and is trying to nudge the mother to take him when he dies. So the final scene, he's in the hospital and he's crying his ass off. Well, he's not crying, his mother's crying. And he's calm, cool, and collective, and ready to pass on. Then Michael Landon comes into the waiting room, or not the waiting room, the hospital room. It's just them two, and he tells the boy to look at the moon. It's a real tear jerker. I highly recommend you watch this episode. Second will be an episode called Basinger's New York, Season 2, Disc 3. Let me turn the camera around. So Season 2, Disc 3, Basinger's New York. The lead actor in it has passed on many, many years ago. He was a great actor. And they're basically roaming around the city of New York, Manhattan, Brooklyn, and they go through the nativity scene. It's Christmas time. These two are homeless. They happen to be named Joseph and Mary that are homeless. They go to the hospital to get cared for. It's a really chaotic scene. And the Basinger character is a newspaper reporter, and he's writing down what's going on during the day. He can't believe everything that goes on. It's really insane. They meet a taxi driver who's looking for his son that basically ran away, who at the end of the episode they actually find, and he comes back to the father, who's the taxi driver, gives him a hug. It's a real tearjerker. It's an awesome episode. I highly recommend you watch this episode. It's just very Christmas spirit like. So let me push that to the side. And we have another episode, Season 4, Disc 3, called A Mother's Love. Now, A Mother's Love is kind of the same. A teacher meets these 4 orphans. Their mother died, and the older orphan, the older brother of the kids. They live in a van. They go to school. The teacher that's teaching these kids finds out that they're orphans and basically wants to adopt them and take them in as one of her own. The judge doesn't allow it. At the end, the judge does allow it, and it's just really heartwarming and loving and just a family great episode. I highly recommend you watch this. It's just the woman that played the teacher, she passed on, but she was wonderful. Absolutely stole the show. Let's see. The other episode, number 2, is season 3, disc 2, Man to Man. Now, Man to Man, if you had problems with your father, or if you didn't know your father and then you got to know him, in this episode, the son doesn't know the father too well. He's lived with them, he cares about him, but they're just not on the same page. Well, the father gets cancer. Again, another show where the guy gets cancer. Another one where cancer is the main topic. So he gets cancer. By the way, that guy is still alive. Would you believe that? Would you believe that the guy is still alive to this day? So the father gets cancer. The son finds out about it later on during a camping trip, and they make up at the end after a lot of turmoil in the beginning. 1 second, let me get this camera situated. So there's a lot of turmoil in the beginning, and at the end, they actually go to an amusement park and a roller coaster and laugh it off and talk it off and make up. It's just so heartwarming. If you never had a good relationship with your family, watch this and you'll have a much better appreciation for them. You'll only have 2 parents, so you better love them no matter what they do to you, or try to love them, or try to forgive them, and try to just take the good with the bad and don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. But watch this episode. And my number 1, Merry Christmas from Grandpa. It is the last episode, season 5, disc 3. This is the episode that sealed the fate of Michael Landon, Victor French. Can you imagine in the late 80s speaking out against Big Pharma? I mean, that wasn't even a word back then. They were speaking out against the chemical industry, Big Pharma, all kinds of shit, and they put it on this episode to last forever. That sealed their fate. That was the last episode. No more was going to be done. That's when they started to receive threats. That's when things got real and shit got serious. And this is all coming from James Troche, who was a dear, dear friend of mine. I miss the shit out of him. He was killed. He was killed off. And he predicted his own death to me. And all 3 died at the age of 56. All 3 died at the age of 50 fucking 6. It's just awful. This episode, I don't even know how to describe it. Okay. I mean, there's one scene where George Bush is, George Bush, the senior, George Bush, the father, is laying in bed with his wife. Christmas carolers come out and they're singing, and they're trying to get Bush to like understand we need peace, not war. We need peace, not war. And then I look at this world now, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? We've had nothing but war. Nothing but war. We need peace, not war. It's just very melancholy like, very unfucking real. To think that from then to now, this shit is still going on. Landon and French would turn over in their fucking graves. So these are my top 5. I'm going to turn the camera around. Get the complete series on Blu-ray disc. High definition remastered, all 5 seasons, 111 episodes, 111. This is The Phantom, out.